Hey, welcome back, you guys. So today I'm going to be talking about the time I almost got kidnapped. So I don't remember this story. My mom's the one that told me about this because I did not know. I was not told. I probably should have been informed, hey, you almost got kidnapped once. Now, there was another time where this happened. I will explain that one later. That one has nothing to do with this story. It was like 10 years later. So I think I was in kindergarten. And so I was about 4 to 5 because I started kindergarten early. I didn't go to preschool. I started kindergarten early. So when I was 4 to 5, they had a fire alarm go off. Now, I don't know why. No, it was not a fire alarm. Sorry. It was not a fire alarm. We were outside at recess when a lockout drill, I think it was an actual lockout. So a lockout happened. So there's two things, a lockout and a lock-in. A lockout is when there's someone outside of the school that could be a danger, so they lock him or her out. And a lock-in is when they're inside the school and we lock down the inside of the school to make sure no one gets in any classrooms to make sure everyone's okay. We had a lockout. I'm pretty sure it was an actual lockout. I had to ask my mom about all this because my mom was there and my sister was in 5th grade. So my mom was at work and she gets a phone call. And it's my school telling my mom, sorry if you hear gasping in the background, Mason's back there. Anyways, so what happened was I was at school and a lockout happened and I was still outside at recess. Sorry if I'm jumping around a bit. I don't know how to tell this story because I don't really remember it. I was told by my mom. So when everything happened, I was outside and I did not hear the lockout drill or lockout bell or whatever, and I did not hear the alarm go off or any of that. So I was outside still, and I was outside. I was always a really quiet, alone kid. I never liked being around people. So when I had to go outside, I would always just stay in a corner of the grass, and I just stayed there alone, and I just stayed alone because I had no friends. I was sad. So I was not paying attention to anyone else. I was in my own little world. I've always had a really imaginative brain. So I was sorry, he's messing with the fan. He's messing with the fan. Sorry, he's signing to me, and I'm trying to pay attention to him. Sorry, he's distracting me. I told him not to distract me. Anyways, so I was still outside, and my mom gets a phone call. My mom worked, I'm pretty sure it was at a medical center at the time, because my mom works for an insurance company. And she has her nursing degree, I'm pretty sure it was, her nursing degree. So she was at work one day, and she gets a phone call. And it's a man she did not know. It was an unknown number, and she answers the phone. And it says, "Hi, I have your daughter in my car." Okay, so I don't know the exact way it happened, but what I heard happened was I was outside when a lockout happened, and I guess some guy came. And he was in the playground. I'm pretty sure he was a parent of one of the other kids, or he was just someone that was just there at the right time, the right moment. And I guess what happened was a place nearby, like a store or something, had or a bank of some sort, had an armed robbery happen in the area. I live in the ghetto apparently, but an armed robbery happened. And it was right near my school, so when that happens and an armed person runs off, the police needs to find them, and they pass our school or they go to our school, a lockout happens because they hear immediately when that happens and they lock us down to make sure nothing happens. So I guess it's some person I did not know, and apparently I got in their car, and before that I was banging on the doors because I was alone out there. I was scared. Why was I alone? I should be in class right now. I did not hear anything go off. I knew recess wasn't over yet because we had just been out there for 5 minutes. So I keep banging on the door, no one answers, so I just go back to where I was and I sat down in the grass. A guy came up to me and he came over to me and he said, "Come with me." I went with him. Why did I go so willingly? I have no idea. I know now, don't go willingly with strangers. You mace them in the face. Mason's doing us back there. And he's on his laptop, so he's not even paying attention all the way. But he's listening. And I'm doing this at Mason's house because my house is filled with my sister and her fiance and their 3 dogs and my 2 dogs, so I didn't want to film when everyone was around and I could not get some peace and quiet. I'm shocked it's quiet. You might want to make sure your family's okay. No one's murdered yet. No, is what he signs. which means no thank you. Anyways, so that happens, and the next thing I hear, my mom came up to the school, and of course when you get a phone call, your daughter's in my car. Not a good thing. It was me and my sister going to that school. My sister was in 5th grade. I was in kindergarten. Have like a 4 to 5 year, we have a 6-year age difference, but I went to school early, so we were 5 years apart at the school. So, my mom comes, and the guy is sitting outside. He has me in the car, and my mom walks and knocks on the window. He says, you can get your daughter out. And I don't know what happened exactly. All I know is my mom grabbed me out of the car, and she took me home. She took the rest of the day off work. She took me out of school, and she actually went with me to school the next day, and she complained to the office people, why wouldn't you let her inside the school? Because I saw, like, office people walking around. There were people inside the school that saw me, and they knew I needed to come inside, and they knew I was a student, but they chose not to let me in the school, which is a huge lawsuit opportunity. You can get in a lot of trouble for not letting a kid inside the school when could be a possible gunman outside. You could kill the student. So I was like 3. I'm sorry, why do I keep saying I'm 3? I'm not 3. I was 4. So I was 4 at the time. Took me home, and I did not hear about the story till I was like 9 or 10 when my mom told me. And after that, I just kind of stuck with it. Like, wow, I almost got kidnapped. That's not fun. So that's the story of how I think I almost got kidnapped, or I was kidnapped. I don't know. I don't know how it happened, or what happened, or why. But I got kidnapped. Kind of. But I also got protected. And we later found out that the gunman guy, he was never found. He was never found. He did come towards our school, and he was hanging around our school. I might have been in his car. Because no one recognized that guy. I thought he was like a student's parent, but he was not a parent. He was not a parent. Because I described him to my mom, and my mom asked about him. And my mom saw his face, and my mom took me inside the school the next day and told them what happened. They said, we don't, and I don't know his name or anything, because he never said his name. We just sat there in silence, I'm pretty sure. I remember, like, little snippets of this, just, like, little vague memory things, but I remember it being completely silent. And so, we were in the car together, and it was completely silent, I'm pretty sure. And we later brought it up to the principal, and they did not know him. My mom described him, and no one knew who he was. He was not a person that was supposed to be there. He was not a volunteer. He was not a student parent. Because I went to a very small school. There was maybe 300 to 400 kids in my school, and everyone's parents knew each other. Like, we had this really close-knit people at our school, so everyone knew each other's parents. No one recognized this man. No one came forward about this man. No one ever saw him again. He was not a volunteer. He was not a teacher. And my mom says that she thought he was a really sketchy guy. He had a black hoodie on. He was dressed in all black. And it was really, really sketchy. And I might have been in a burglar's car. Well, I guess he's a bank robber. Or a store robber. Some kind of armed robbery man. I might have been in his car. We don't know. We don't know who took me into the car. It could be, it could not be. But that's the story of how I almost got kidnapped for the first time. There was a second time I almost got kidnapped. And a third time people thought I got kidnapped. But I was not kidnapped. I was hiding. Kind of. I wasn't really hiding. I was at a friend's house. But I'll explain that later on. Anyway, so that's the story. That's all I got for today. I love you all so much. Sorry if Mason bothered you people. Anyways, I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Bye.